You had 24 tonight? Jesus Christ.
You had 34? Jesus Christ.
Touche.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Donovan, for you, and this is weird because he's sitting right next to you, but we talked to Jarrett a lot this morning about you two as a pick and roll combo. And obviously last year, Jarrett and Darius formed a really good one too. Like, what is it about him as a pick and roll partner?
I don't really know where to start. I think the biggest thing is, he can do it all. He can set hard screens. He can slip out of screens. You can hit him in the half roll. You can hit him up down the lob. I pass it to him. He's able to make a post move and a finish. So there's just so much to his game that adds on the mind. So I really, he's so versatile in the pick and roll. I'm looking to, and I told him this from the beginning of the season, like I'm looking to improve my game, and maybe it's not a lob pass, maybe it's in the pocket, which I feel like we've gotten really good at. Evan as well, but there's so much we can do, him and I, together, and you're looking at it, and it's continuing to build and get stronger. And there's a lot more we can do, but just being able to read each other. That's all pick and roll is being able to have a feel. When you're able to communicate back and forth of what he sees or what I see. But it's easy when you got a guy like him who's able just to really do anything against any coverage. And there's also a trust factor. That's a big part of it as well, and continuing to grow confidence in each other.
What are you giving Evan for taking his double-double the other night, a pair of down fours?
No. I definitely told him I'm going to take him to dinner or pay for dinner if he wants to go. If he doesn't want to go with me, I understand, that's what I told him. I would get him dinner. But we got him it today, I think. He got the double-double today. So we made sure we got him one for sure.
Kelsey Russo, The Athletic. Donovan, for you, what have you seen from Lamar in the closing minutes these last couple of games, and just what he provides in that group?
So many different things. I mean, it's easy to speak on his defense because that's what we know. But I think offensively, there's a growing confidence. He's shooting the ball with confidence. He's able to get into the paint, drive, and kick, get to the free throw line. He hit 5 free throws, second highest on the team. Being able to do so many different things. And if teams want to help off him, being able to be confident and make plays, but also understanding the offense, understanding where to be, and defensively giving us, like I said, holding everybody accountable, I think is huge when you have a guy on the team who's, especially on the defensive end, you hear it from the coaches and whatnot, but when you have a guy on the floor, it's like, all right, let's get 3 stops. Let's lock up here. We gave up this on this possession, and being able to hold himself accountable as well, I think is something that's a huge spark for us.
And then, Jarrett, for you, what have you noticed, I guess, especially the last few games, about the way you guys have been able to close games and learned from the struggles you guys saw on that losing stretch?
It seems like every game we're getting better at closing games. If you look at that closing stretch, there are some games we dropped because we let off the gas pedal. But games like this home stretch, when we're up by 10 and we need to keep the lead, we've been improving in that, still playing our game, still making the simple plays to get the job done.
Mitch Spinell, 92.3 The Fan. This could be for either of you guys. You mentioned around the 10-point lead, especially when the Blazers in the fourth quarter were making a couple of shots. I think it was Simons who made a few threes there. Was there any specific message that JB passed on to you guys about just trying to lock down on D?
Yeah, just trying to lock down on D, and even on the offensive end. I know we had some turnovers, especially I did, but just making the simple pass still. It's a simple game. Yeah, I almost got it.
I've been there.
Yeah, just making the simple play, knowing that the Portland Trailblazers, they can get hot anytime. Simon, sorry if I said his name wrong, he can get hot from the three-point line, and we saw a little glimpse of that. They kind of made the comeback towards the end, but we still held our own.
Thank you. Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland. Donovan, a week ago tonight, you guys lost your 5th straight in Milwaukee, and now you guys go back to Milwaukee having won the last 4. What's different about this team now?
We got this guy back. No, I think there's always going to be like I always say, there's going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be positives, there's going to be negatives. We went on an 8-game winning streak. We went on a 5-game losing streak. We now on a 4-game losing streak. There's always going to be highs and lows, and I think, I want to say we're a different team. Outside of obviously adding Jay, but we're a different team mentally coming into Milwaukee, but also understanding that we have room to improve as well. I think there's a confidence about us. There's a swagger we have, which is good, and we just got to continue to keep it, continue to cherish every moment of the game as far as taking care of the ball, and little things that a team like Milwaukee is going to come out, ready to go, ready to attack. And they're a championship team. They're proven, and like I said, we're trying to prove ourselves continuously. And this will be a great test, to see where we're at, especially when you just played them. They're fresh on your mind, on each other's mind, and they're getting guys back too with Drew, Grayson, Wes, and all those guys. So it'll be a good test for us. But I think the biggest thing for us is how we stack up, like going into the game, what our mindset is, what our lock focus is, and not saying we won 4 straight or whatever. Like we got to continue to find ways to build, and there'll be a good test on Friday.
And last Friday against Charlotte, you mentioned taking lessons from how you were closing out games, and what you were learning from it. You guys have been good at that since. What did you learn from that personally?
I think just the little things. Being sure of yourself, and when I say that, I mean taking care of the ball, being sure defensively, being solid, keeping it simple. I think when you get up, there's always a tense. You always tend to relax a little bit, but keeping your mind sharp, keeping your energy sharp on what needs to be done, and you're starting to see that throughout these games. And I think the biggest thing I can really talk about is just the turnovers. Just being able to consistently hammer home the simple things. We're finding some sets that we like to run late now too. That's also being comfortable, and I think it's a lot of us. It's a 3-man action of myself, DG, and JA. We're finding some. We're finding stuff there. We're also finding stuff with JA Ev, which we ran late tonight too. Jetty's been phenomenal. So there's just so many different things we're starting to find on the offensive end, and then defensively, just being able to double down on what we've been doing. Continue to do our principles and be able to lock in.
Brendan Gulick, Cavs Insider on Sports Illustrated. Jarrett, forgive me if you've been asked this before, man. I have never seen an athlete have fun with the fans pregame.
Me neither.
Where's that start? What's the genesis for that?
Honestly, I have fun with it myself. It started as just looking at the kids, trying to get them interactive with the game, just having fun, and then it turned into the whole side of the arena, and it's just something I do every game. It gets the crowd going. You can see the smiles on their faces. I know a lot of them don't forget the small little moment that I had with them. I just enjoy it. People at the very tippy top, they have the quote-unquote bad seats, maybe that makes their day for the game, and I just try to do that little thing.
At first, I thought you had a lot of family over there. I was like, damn.
It's like,
Donovan, I want to ask you a crowd-related question, too. There was a point, late in the game, you're at the free throw line, and there was MVP chance.
They messed me up, man. Oh, my goodness. Man, no. Sorry, go ahead.
I just said, look, we're roughly 25% of the way through the season, and you made it pretty clear right from when you got here how important the memories were from your childhood of this team and hearing Ahmad do his thing in the arena, and now you're fulfilling that. What does it feel like to hear those kinds of things?
It's funny you bring up that moment. Tonight I'm really upset with myself, but also I got to give myself a break. Like I missed the free throw, but for the first time I really just listened to it and try to fight a little smirk, because at the end of the day, like you said, I'm blessed to be able to play this game. I'm blessed to be able to be here, because like you said, I was a fan of the Cavs. I've seen this on TV as a kid. I've watched it, and to be able to be a part of it, to be able to hear that, it's a blessing. And I don't take the little things lightly. Although it did alter my free throw and I was upset, but at the same time, we got the win and we took care of business. But, I'm thankful for that. I'm appreciative of it. And for myself, just continuing, like I said, this summer, just trying to be the best player I can be for my teammates. And, I'm showing it on a nightly basis, and we got a long way to go. But, it's one of those moments you sit back and you just, you appreciate it. It's special, and I'm very thankful for it. And I'm not trying to be cliche because it's Thanksgiving, but it's something that, like you said, man. As a kid, you dream about these moments, and they're here and they're special. But in the same token, it's early, and we got to keep going.
Last two, Spencer and then Chris. Spencer Davies, basketballnews.com. Just one quick one for each of you. Donovan, have you played with someone that knows what the other team's going to do before they do it, like Jarrett?
Yes and no. I think coming from, and he's had it too. He's been in the playoffs. I think it just comes from the experience you have understanding the playbook, understanding tendencies, understanding like the little details that go into film watching. You know, I don't know how much film he watches, but I can tell he understands the game, understands what's coming. But I'm assuming that comes from film because you don't just go out there and start guessing right every game. So understanding that, you know, he's been a guy that's, you know, calling stuff out, understanding what's going to happen before it even happens, and that just comes from being prepared. And you know, it makes our jobs a lot easier, you know, and he's understanding tendencies as well as we are, and he's already in position, and it's deterring shots. It's being ready for a blitz in the pick and roll. It's, you know, being in the dunker ready for the drop off because he knows a big is going to help up. Like, those little things go a long way, and as we get deeper and deeper into the season and into the playoffs, those little things that, you know, create space or, you know, help us on the defensive end are going to hopefully take us continuously to the top.
And then Jarrett, when he's driving downhill like a madman, he's able to pull up, he's able to shoot threes.
Right.
What does that do for this offense and just the pick your poison element that everyone's talking about?
I mean, we all know Donovan can score, and when I set the pick and roll for him, it's, I guess what somebody said, it's one of the best in the league tonight. You know, he's going to do his thing, or the best, excuse me. He's going to do his thing. I'm a roll. And it's just a lot of options, you know, for the offense to have. And that's one of the best things you have is options. And as Donovan and I keep scoring, it's going to open it up for everybody else. Lamar got a couple corner threes today. Darius had the open lane to drive to the rim. It just opens up the game for so many other people to get their game going and in turn get the whole offense going.
Finish it off, Chris.
Hey, Jarrett.
Hey, how you doing?
A couple guys recently have talked about sometimes Evan's impact goes overlooked because he doesn't stuff the stat sheet, and some of the stuff that he does doesn't show up there.
Right.
As somebody who plays next to him, like, can you speak to his nightly impact on this team?
Right. I think it should be said that he takes a big load off of our shoulders in terms of playing defense. I mean, offensively, he's gifted. We can give him the ball. He can go get the bucket. But just knowing that we have Evan behind all of us as the second line of defense, it gives us confidence to push up harder on defense, to maybe go for that extra steal that we shouldn't on defense, knowing that we have Evan, one of the best shot blockers in the league, to protect us.
And I'll speak to that too. I've never seen a young guy on a nightly basis not know if it's going to be offense, defense, or not even show up on the stat sheet, but understand and not complain. You know, that's huge. Like that goes a long way. We all noticed it, but that's not typical for a second-year player who should have been the rookie of the year. Like, typically you come into your second year like, you know, like expecting to be just that guy, you know, and understanding that the role changes night to night. Some nights it's a damn near triple-double block. Some nights it's holding down the defensive end. You know, when Jay is out, sometimes it's when Jay is in, being able to be there for us on the offensive end. I've never seen that out of a young guy. So that's a huge credit to him and him as a person as well.
Okay, it's time to wrap it up.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh.